Hello and welcome to Tucking It Up. My name is Tuck, and on this channel I like to play around with makeup, talk about video games and the X-Men, and occasionally, we'll mix all of the above. So today we are going to play around with some new to me makeup, and it's going to be the Nocturnal Nirvana Blitz Astral quad from McGrath, and kind of inspired by the vibes of a lot of the PR images. As you can see, I'm wearing my Pat McGrath hoodie. I'm going to try and do a bit of a graphic look for you today, with mainly using that palette. So please stay tuned and see how I got the look. So the graphic aspect of today's look is actually going to be the lower lash line, like liner, I guess. So I have monolids, which means that if I want to do like a wing, like kind of the traditional, the wing that you see everywhere on YouTube and Instagram and all of that, it just does not work on me. But I was playing around with just some pencils the other day, and I found if I extended the line from, under, from the lower lash line, it actually kind of worked out quite well. So that's what we're going to be playing around with today. And we're going to be using, like I mentioned, the Nocturnal Nirvana palette from Pat McGrath, but I'm also going to pull in the Metallic Mysteries 2 palette from Hallberg because I want to use that beautiful emerald green shade in that palette that's called Draco. So let's get started. So that we can go into the eyes quickly, I've already done my base off camera. Today was pretty simple. I just used the Bare Minerals matte foundation, and then I brought some sculpture, some structure, I should say, to the face using the Kevin Aucoin Contour Book Volume 3. So for the upper lid and kind of as a transition shade, I'm going to use the Incandescent Gold 003, I believe, from the Pat McGrath palette. It's a really, you might be like, oh great, another gold shade, who needs it? But, I do find that her gold shades do have differences from each other. So this shade, I think the name is very fitting. It to me, when I put it on, it almost looks like candlelight. So I really love that. So to place the shade all over my lid, I'm going to go in with the Goss number 19. So that's the Incandescent Gold down. As you can see, I brought it quite high up. It's almost touching the brow, but not quite. And the other thing I did, I don't know if you noticed in the video, is that I kind of, for the shape, I winged it up very, very slightly. It's probably not even noticeable, but the idea is that this should echo kind of the line that I'm going to do later on from the lower lash line. For the outer corner, I'm going to go in with VR Emerald. I'm going to use my Goss number 20. I just want to deepen the outer corner a little bit. It doesn't have to be like super, super dark or really smoky or anything like that, but just give it a little bit more dimension. Okay, that's VR Emerald then. Again, you can see I did a little bit of a wing. It's not really that neat right now, but that's okay because we're going to go in with some micellar water later and just clean up the line because I want to make sure it's quite graphic, especially on the lower lash line. The upper half, not necessarily so much. To give a little bit more depth to the outer corner, I'm going to go in with Draco from the Metallic Mysteries 2 palette from Hallberg, and I'll just start with Draco on the Goss number 20, and then I will go in with a pencil brush to define it a little bit. Now I'm going to soften the edges of this wing a little bit, just blend it out. Okay, now I'm going to marry the green and the gold. That's looking quite blended. Okay, let's move on to the lower lash line, the star of the show. To start off the lower lash line, I'm actually going to clean up the wing a little bit, and to do that, I'm going to take some micellar water on a Q-tip and just clean off the excess. There we go. Now I'm going to go in with the Atria Flash Crayon on my lower lash line. And I'm going to follow, when I get to the outer corner, I'm going to kind of follow that, that line that I'd made with the Q-tip. I'm also going to use Atria on my lower waterline. I'll be right back. So I've added Atria to my lower waterline, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an angled brush, in this case the MAC 263, take that Atria, and then really define the graphic line that I was talking about. To finish off the lower lash line, I'm going to use the shade Blitz Purple from the Nocturnal Nirvana palette on another angled brush, and I'm just going to use that to kind of refine the line and also lightly smoke it out. I'm going to go back in with a pencil brush and more Draco to deepen the outer corners and make it a little bit more interesting. To finish off this eye look, I'm going to take the Vega Flash Crayon from Hallberg, and I'm going to just tight line my upper lash line. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll be right back. To finish off the eye look, I'm going to go in and finish up my brows. I'm just going to go in, again, quite simple. I'm going to use the kohl liner from Rimmel, put the pigment onto an angle brush, and just draw my eyebrows slanted upwards. I'll do that off camera, and I'll be right back. That's my eyebrows then. They're a bit stronger than I usually do today because I thought I just needed to balance out the extremely graphic liner. So in addition to the kohl pencil that I usually use, I also took some black eyeshadow, in this case Carbon from MAC, just really filled in the tail, and then I took some micellar water on a Q-tip just to really kind of clean up the lines. So I'm quite happy with how that turned out. So let's move on to the lips. For the lips today, I'm going to go in with the shade Exxotica from McGrath. However, since it's a really dark shade, I'm going to start by lining the lips with Vintage from NYX. As a finishing touch, I'm going to add some Chromaluxe Hi-Lite cream in Pale Gold 002 from McGrath. This is actually one of my least favorite products from her, or actually anyone else. I've never been able to get it to work really well, except in this particular application. So I'm going to kind of concentrate it in the middle of the lips, and then shear it out a little bit, just to give this whole look a bit more interest. That's today's look then. Thank you so much for joining me. I really had a lot of fun. I don't usually play around with graphical elements too much. I find them a little bit difficult to make work with my features. They often overpower them, or they just sort of like distort my face. But I think this is really quite nice. So please like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Share with your friends. And until next time, bye!